Okay, so let's build a PCB in Multisim, our first one from scratch, okay? And this really is from scratch, so Multisim 14.2, let's open it up. There's my design window. Now I'm not going to go into details like we did last week about placing the components and all the rest of it. I'm going to assume that you can do that. If you can't do it, it's because you missed last week and yesterday, and you'll need to catch up from the videos which are on the Moodle site, okay? But the first thing I want to do, I've got to draw a circuit before I can make a printed circuit board for it. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to go to place, component, and I'm going to put a resistor in. So I'm going to go down to basic, and inside here I'm going to select resistor, and I'm going to put the resistor down there. I'm happy with that, yeah? You happy with that? Hope so. I could rotate it, do whatever I want with it, but I'm not going to do that at this stage. So now I'm going to place another component. Place, component, and this time I'm going to select basic again, but I'm going to select capacitor this time. And I'm going to take the capacitor. What I'm going to make a resonance circuit. I'm not going to model it, I'm just going to make a printed circuit board for it. I'm going to click OK, plonk it down on the board there. It's okay, but I think I'll rotate that 90 degrees clockwise. And the next component I want to place an inductor. So I'm going to place component, and you can see I'm already in basic, and I'm going to select inductor, and I'm going to put that down on the board. So nothing that you haven't seen before. This is all stock stuff from what we did in the first week and some of the second week as well. Just going to neaten it up a bit. There we have it. Okay, something that you won't have seen last week is that we need a connector pin. Now a connector pin, you can also refer to these as headers, except there's only, well, I suppose you call it a head. But a header is a connection to the outside world. Look at the oscilloscope in front of you, you'll see that it's got connections, headers. Real points where we can access and clip wires onto and all that kind of stuff. Now if we go into here and we say place, component, and instead of in basic we want to go down to connectors at the bottom there, so we're in basic and then we go to connectors and we scroll pretty much right away to the bottom of connectors, we'll see that we've got a thing called test PT THT. Now this brings us on to two things that we're going to see later. We've got THT, which is short for through hole, and we've got SMT, which is short for surface mount. Now take it from me, for the time being we are using through hole technology, so everything we do will be using this THT at the end of it. Don't worry too much about it, you'll come up to speed in a minute. But if I press on test PT THT, I get this very unexciting thing that just looks like well, a straight line with a circle on the top and a cross on the bottom. It's a pin. It's a connection pin. There's one out the front there. Wave it about, Nassim.
Yes, it's been cut.
Yeah. So Nassim is, and there's lots of pins on there, but we could break one off and just put one in. Okay, so that's what that is. It's just an area of copper on the board where we're going to push that pin through and we're going to solder it up. Okay, so I want some of those. Well, I'm going to put 4 on mine. It's up to you if you put 3 or 4. So I'm going to put one here, which is my input. I'm then going to take another one. And I'm going to put one here as my output. I'm going to put one here as my input ground and one here as my output ground. Now that looks a mess, so I'm going to rotate things now. You should know what I'm doing now. So I'm going to rotate counterclockwise. rotate counterclockwise,
PCB is going to be on the connector as well.
rotate clockwise, rotate clockwise. I'll move these about a bit because I'm not happy where they are. Again, this is just what I call aesthetics, it's just about making it look right. So you can play these games at your leisure. I'm just making it look neat, that's all I'm doing, I'm not doing anything clever. Okay, I think they're all in line. So now I'm going to wire it up. So I'm going to take a wire from here to here, a wire from here to here. Remember, just click on the end of the component, take your finger off the mouse, and drag till you get it to where you want it, and then click again. Alright, so, up like so. So I've got a 3-component circuit. It's got a resistor, a capacitor and an inductor in it. And it's actually a resonant circuit, but you don't need to worry too much about actually what it is or what it does at this stage, because we did simulations before. We're not interested in simulating it, we're interested in designing the printed circuit board. Okay, make sure you've got all that. I'm just going to go around and make sure that everyone's up to speed.
Well, you put it in there and then you can change it.
Yeah.
Change it off.
Yeah. It's got a capacitor like that. This is input to
Yeah.
BJT.
You put it in and then you can change it off.
Can you help us with that? I'm just going to wait until everybody gets up to that point.
So you go to the find the package that you use.
Okay, you're fine. You just got to wire it.
Then you can choose artifact of this you can use.
Yeah. You're a megafarad, a million farads. It's right size of the room. Right, mobile sun.
Yeah, I didn't watch them. I should probably watch the recording for that.
Probably, yeah. Okay, good. I didn't think you'd have any problems. Good. So we're just waiting for a couple of people to get up to speed.
Basically, it's not that important, trust me. Except that you're meant to have like a meeting with the or something, you said. Ideally. But I haven't. Have you spoken to your supervisor yet?
Not this term.
Not this time, yeah.
I need to
Which component you
tell them about all the work I did over Christmas.
How much work
Definitely.
did you do?
Yeah.
I have not touched any basics, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Tell them they've read it all. I've read a bunch of papers and I know what I'm doing, even if I don't.
Right, I'm not going to rush ahead because otherwise we'll lose a couple of people who are still drawing, so bear with us a second before we move on to the next phase because it's really important.
I'm really conscious about